to Quarantini Time, a show where I get to chat with my friends and family while enjoying a delicious beverage with them. On tonight's show is another one of Kelly's friends from her high school and college days. I am so thankful to have these people in my life. They have become such great friends. Please welcome Mike Bleakley. Hey, Mike, welcome to Quarantini Time.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
Good. What are we drinking tonight?
We are drinking a chocolate martini, and it is so good. Let me just tell you, it's fabulous.
So I just made my ghetto version of a chocolate martini because I don't have everything that goes with it. So it's basically vodka and chocolate syrup and non-dairy almond vanilla creamer with some Chambord in there to give it a little raspberry flair.
I love the raspberry flair. I think that's so cool. I actually went to the liquor store and bought the Godiva white chocolate. And so I've got that and Bailey's and creme de coco and then 2 shots of vodka, which if you've never Googled Sandra Lee's 2 shots of vodka, you need to Google it because it's hilarious.
So during all this, you're still out working, right?
I am. So I work for the state of Wyoming for the Wyoming Retirement System, and we are deemed essential services. I am teleworking Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and going into the office on Tuesday and Thursday. We're in probably the biggest building in Cheyenne. It can hold probably 500 or 600 people. I would say right now, Department of Health moved out, so there's only about 50 people left. And with so many people teleworking, there might be 20 people in this huge giant building on any given day. It's almost a little bit creepy. We're practicing social distancing. We're trying to limit walk-in traffic. We have hand sanitizer and alcohol wipes all throughout the office. I just got some masks. We're trying to stay safe and make sure everyone feels comfortable if they have to come into the office.
So I know you and your husband, Jaron, are very social people. You love being out. You love being around people. What are you two doing to pass time?
We have been doing lots of different things. I had posted a recipe for sourdough bread on Facebook yesterday and got all these comments. I mean, the number of people baking right now is astronomical. And so tonight I had a neighbor and he brought me a sourdough starter kit. I also have a friend, Sarah Burlingame, who's in the Wyoming legislature, and she's the executive director for Wyoming Equality. And she brought me a starter kit as well. So I haven't made any sourdough bread yet, but people have brought that. Jaron and I have been going on walks. And then our friend Debbie is doing Facebook Live Zumba. And so we've been doing Zumba with her. We're scheduling happy hours. I have some old, close, wonderful sort of high school friends that actually we didn't talk as much. And especially after I moved to Cheyenne, they're all down in Denver. And now once a week, we're getting on a video chat. And then we also, thanks to Luke Jackson, are doing an online charitable poker tournament. And we play often. One of the members, Sally Meeker, she said, hey, we should do a charity. Let's pick a charity every week. And so we did St. Joe's Food Bank here in Cheyenne. We did the Alzheimer's Association. And then most recently, we did the Welcome Mat, which is a Wyoming Homeless Coalition group. So every Friday night, we play usually 2 tournaments. And then we do a late night tournament. Whoever wins it gets to pick the charity for the next week.
Well, you and your husband, Jaron, are big travel people. Have you had any travel plans canceled during this time?
We both do some traveling for work. And so, conferences have been canceled left and right. I mean, our work schedule has changed a little bit because of that. Jaron's a financial planner and works for New York Life, and this is their 175th anniversary. The council trip, if you have a certain level of production, you get to go on a council trip. It's in New York City in October. So we'll see what happens. They haven't made the call. I wouldn't expect them to make the call till, July or something like that. But the last trip we had was with Luke and Laura, and we went to Napa Valley. It was Friday the 13th. Of March. And leading up to that trip, we were going back and forth, and we had the most amazing trip to Napa Valley, which is just a magical place. And I highly recommend anyone to go there. I mean, you're doing wineries. There's really amazing restaurants that are so fantastic. I got Jaron, he got to try artichoke hearts. He's never had not artichoke hearts, but the artichoke that you dip in the butter and kind of pull through your teeth to get the artichoke meat. At this Rutherford Grill in Napa Valley. And it was so cool, but it was also so surreal because We knew when we flew out there, no one was sitting in the middle seat on the airplane. We brought Clorox wipes and wiped everything down. We had hand sanitizer. And I remember on Sunday afternoon, we were at a winery called Nickel and Nickel, and it was beautiful. We're in this sort of modern chic barn, drinking Cabernet Sauvignon with different cheese samples. And the sun was just shining in through the window. And the gal who was such an expert on wine and was giving us the tour, she said, you guys are my last tour. They are closing down Napa Valley tomorrow. Later that day, Governor Gordon of Wyoming issued the school closure, and basically they closed California. We flew home on Monday the 16th, and they literally closed the state behind us. No one was at the airport. It was an unreal experience. It'll be a trip I'll remember the rest of my life.
Well, what is the next trip you guys have planned, if you have anything coming up?
I actually just forwarded an email to Jaron about, it was a travel zoo, everyone gets those travel deal emails, and it was the top 20, and there were trips from Denver to Hawaii, for $300. Of course, we got married there. We got Maui'd on Maui. Cheesy but cute. So we actually were just there in December for our 5-year wedding anniversary. We went back to Maui. Hawaii's beautiful and wonderful. I mean, it's a little bit of a hike to get there, but I recommend it. And I think that probably, even though it's tempting, $300, whatever, I don't think that'll be the next trip, just because, we were there recently. There's so many places that we want to go.
You are also a set of dinks that I live vicariously through. I've now had 3 sets of dinks on my show. I love it.
I'm so blessed to have an amazing stepdaughter, Lizzie. I mean, I wouldn't even say step. She's my daughter. I love her so much. And when we got together, Jaron told me, he said, Mike, I'm older than you. I've been there, done that. And, if you want kids, I'm probably not the person for you, because I'm not going to be this 60-year-old at graduation or whatever. And I think that, someday I hope to be a grandpa, and I think that'll be really, really fun. But some of the things that I've been able to do in life, Jaron and I for years ran Wyoming Equality, and Jaron was the chair and I was the treasurer, and we were successful in getting marriage equality in Wyoming. I mean, it was such an amazing experience, and I don't know that I would have been able to do that if I had a little kid. So I think raising children is one of the most amazing things that people can do. But there's things that I've done in the last 10 years of my life that would have looked differently if I had a little one.
And I say dinks, I of course remember Lizzie, but she is an adult grown off on her own and everything like that. That is why I still consider you both dinks.
Yes, I would say we probably consider ourselves dinks. I mean, it was so funny because Lizzie, and she'll laugh when she watches this, we would still call her our kid. And, Lizzie's 25, turning 26 next month. So one night we were playing some game and we ended up we called her a kid or something. She said, I'm not a kid, And I said, well, fine, you're our adult child. So that's what we call her. She's our adult child. But she is all grown up and self-sufficient and really wonderful. We certainly miss seeing her. We've seen her a little bit, but we really are trying to, practice social distancing and not get together with people, even family.
Well, at the end of every interview, I like to do my little questionnaire that I've come up with. You all set to do it?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. What is your favorite word?
I would say love. Love wins. And that probably comes back from the marriage equality campaign days, but I believe in love. I think it's important to tell people that you love them. Love is so powerful, and I don't know, love makes me happy.
What is your least favorite word?
I would have to say moist. When it snows, everyone says we need the moisture, but it just makes my skin crawl.
Who would you most like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with?
Outside of Jaron, who of course I'm truly am quarantined with, and he's been a great person to be quarantined with. I'll never forget at my commencement, when I got my master's degree, we had the state geologist was the commencement speech. And she was the first female state geologist in Wyoming. And she told this story about how she was in the Red Desert looking at rocks and trying to figure things out. And she was so lost. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what the rocks were. She needed help. She was able to get a hold of her professor at the University of Wyoming. And the professor said, you're the expert now. You know more than I do, and I can't help you. And the moral of her speech was that all of us graduating with, advanced degrees, that you're the leader, you're the one who knows. And so believe in yourself and know that you're trained for this and you're ready for this. And I've seen her a couple times since the commencement speech, and it just really inspired me. And I'll never forget that speech. And I think she's just a fascinating person.
Who would you least like to be in the stay-at-home quarantine with?
I would have to say Jim Carrey. He's so annoying. He's like fingers on a chalkboard to me. I know some people probably just think the heck out of him and he's so awesome, but he annoys the crap out of me.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck. For sure. It's got to be fuck. I mean, it's just the best,
What sound or noise do you love?
Well, I love our laundry machine at the end. When it ends, it plays this little jingle. And it's kind of makes me happy because then I'm done with the laundry.
What sound or noise do you hate?
There's some Lizzo songs that I love, the hair toss, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? I'm feeling good as hell. I love that song. But Truth Hurts is just awful. I hate that song. And I know people loved it, but it's just like whiny kind of. I don't know. I don't like that song.
If you could only have one type of food during a stay-at-home quarantine, what would it be?
It would be pizza. I mean, that's an easy question. Jaron and I love pizza, and we could very easily order it once a week. There's a place here in Cheyenne called The Office, and they do all their pizzas are cauliflower crust. And Jaron likes the Thai chili chicken pizza, and I like the Popeye, which has spinach and pepperoni. There's so many different ways you can do pizza, and it's such an amazing food.
What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
My undergrad degree is in political science, and as crazy as it is to say, I'd love to be like a United States senator. I think politics is totally insane, and I think we need to work hard to bring civility back and to be able to listen to people who are different and do it in a respectful way. And I think it would be a fascinating job. I don't know that it would ever happen, but maybe in another life it sounds like a fun challenge.
What profession other than yours would you not like to do?
I don't think I would want to be like a pooper scooper. There's a company here in town, K9 Poop Be Gone. And if you have a dog, you can hire them and they'll come and pick up your dog poop. I wouldn't want that job.
And the last question tonight, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I think I'd like him to tell me that my family and my friends are waiting there to greet me. I'm so very blessed to have both of my parents, and I know not everyone does, but they've both had a few health things going on, and my dad's been fighting cancer, and as much as I'd love them to live as long as me, that's probably not going to happen. And I am so blessed to have such a great family, and I will miss them so much when they're gone, and I will look forward to reuniting with them in the future.
Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Quarantini Time, Mike. I have loved having you here.
It's been great. This has been fun. I'm so glad you're doing this. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, and everyone just needs to stay positive, be kind to one another. Remember, don't forget to tell people you love them, and make sure you're calling your family and friends.